We are proud to present the student speaker for the class of 13, Juan Jose Marcano.
Family, faculty, staff, fellow classmate of class 2013, ladies and gentlemen. To start, I would like to thank you all for giving me the honor for speaking to you today. When I was thinking about some ideas for my speech, there were three topics that constantly came to my mind and I think were fundamental for our studies. For this reason, I decided to divide my speech into three topics: friendship, diversity, and personal growth. About friendship. The last 2 years, many of us have been far away from home, and some of us have far away from our countries. But here in the MBA program, we became a new family. Friendship for us means sharing happy moments, being teachers sometimes, apprentices some others, supporting a classmate that is going through a difficult situation. Our friendship has been forged not only within the walls of a classroom or the library, but also in the social events organized by the MBA office as well as ourselves. For example, gatherings at the Spartan Village with the Indian community, bar crawling in downtown, sharing food and playing music at potlucks, all the support of the S3 to spouses and significant others, tailgating at football games, fishing, bachelor parties, bowling. Even during my first days here, a week before starting class, Kristen Rinder Connect and Alicia Lasco were kind enough to take us around East Lansing. That was their way of welcoming us and helping us feel at home. Every Wednesday, I play soccer. I do not do it for the exercise, but to meet at bar afterwards with my friend Itai Shemesh, Cameron Lawler, and James Hill. And we share a story about what's going on in the MBA. Many of those stories I cannot tell here in front of you. But it's just one that I would like to share with you. During the spring break, James invited some of his friends to Naples, Florida. And by the way, I was not invited. Thank you, James. So Varun Gupta was one of those invited, and they were cooking dinner, right? And they asked him to cut an onion. So Varun cut it in half, and they are like, Varun, no, a little bit more. So he cut it in 4. And they are, no, Varun, like this. They realized that Varun had never ever cooked in his life, not even fried eggs. And I'm serious about this. After his arrival to the US, Varun had eaten out every day. He had never bought groceries. So Chef Itai from Israel, a good friend that always available to help, taught Varun how to cook. Some basic things. So when Varun comes back home, he goes to the grocery store for the first time, he buys some groceries, he fills his refrigerator, he's so excited that he takes a picture of his refrigerator and sends that to Itai. So this is a perfect example of how Brody's became something more than just classmate. We became a large family. My second topic is diversity. How boring would this world be if we were all the same? We would all look the same, we would speak the same language, we would have the same accent, eat the same food. There is nothing more interesting than the palette of colors that paints our world. One of the reasons why I chose Michigan State was because its cultural diversity. Our MBA is 33% international students, 11 nationalities represented: United States, India, China, South Korea, Colombia, Indonesia, Israel, Peru, Romania, Russia, and Venezuela. I remember that as an international student, I had to arrive earlier for some special activities. A week before arriving, I received the names of the students I would be working with that week. Minhyuk Up from South Korea, Harmeet Gorwara, and Manav Garg from India. I was very happy to see their pictures in Facebook because I knew I would meet people that would think differently than what I do. And then the MBA started, and we had to work in teams. My team was Kelly Fletcher, Gregory Witkoff, and Lucas Balzerzak, all from the United States, and Joseph Chowalor from India, and myself, of course. Together, we spent the first year between write-ups and presentations with some obstacles to overcome. Some of them as mundane as understanding that a Latin American must have lunch. I do not run on solar energy as Kelly Fletcher does. Some other problems were more difficult, such as understanding different accents and asking an Indian and a Venezuelan to arrive on time to a meeting. But nothing of that was in vain. The result was the best of all countries. We worked diligently and efficiently. We had a global point of view. We had good data to back up what we were saying. And we were creative in those moments that were challenged, and the only resort we had was improvisation. But diversity is not only about teamwork. Diversity is also understanding that around the world, there are very intelligent people, much more smarter than you and me, and from whom there is no option but to learn. For example, my good friend, Nicolas Acevedo from Colombia, a very, very intelligent man who, through his slyness, transmits a lot of knowledge and reflection when he speaks from whom we all have learned something. I also lived the presidential campaign here in the US, and without talking about politics, I was very interested to understand the points of view of Craig Samuelson, Cody Miller, Luke Balzerzak, as well as listening to the amazing economical analysis of Rob McElberry. As a closure to this diversity topic, I would like to share a short story that will show how people is smart all around the world. I used to sit by Rahul Salam from India in my forecasting class. Whenever the professor wrote a mathematical equation on the board that needed to be calculated, I would diligently reach for my calculator. But before I could type the numbers, I would hear Rahul calculating out loud. He just did it with his brains. 327.3258. His voice was so quiet that only me, sitting by Rahul, could hear him. Many seconds later, my calculator would show the same result. Finally, my third and last topic I'm going to address today is that of personal growth. To come here, I sold my apartment, my cars, I even gave away my pets. My wife and I quit our job with financial security. We arrived only with a couple of bags and the money we saved. I rode my bike every day to school, regardless of the weather. I did this for two reasons: to let my wife use the car and to feel the spirit of liberty and security I sadly cannot live in my country. Some of us became fathers in these 2 years: Craig Samuelson, Thomas Albert, Cody Miller, Jacob Boone, Cameron Lawler, Jeff Hecker, and myself. We are living with a larger family. These children will be part of the lively and happy memories of our MBA and all of the new friends we made here. I met people that 2 years ago did not believe in marriage. 2 years later, they are getting married. I also met people that screwed up big time at the beginning, and they learned a lesson, and now they are better human beings. I felt sometimes. I had job interviews that I thought were excellent, just to find out a rejection email in my inbox later. Those were difficult moments, but I learned how to deal with them and did not let them interfere with my academics nor my next interviews. I reflected upon my mistakes to improve in the future. I want to tell you that for many of us, coming here was an all-in bet in a casino. And although the results of this bet will only be seen many years from now, I still think the odds are on our side. Because even if our plans do not go exactly as we thought, we are still better human beings than who we were 2 years ago. To conclude, I want to tell you that besides friendship, diversity, and personal growth, all of us after graduation will be assuming important responsibilities that will require ethical and moral compromise. Today is a great time to pause and reflect. We should make an effort to look within to define our value scales. Everything we do should serve mankind. We are free men, and we are the ones responsible for choosing between good and evil. I believe that happiness is to do good, although many times it seems to be kidnapped by distorted values. Lastly, I want to tell you a short story that highlights the message I've been trying to communicate to you today. It is so short that I could have started with that story and saved up 5 minutes of this speech. This is a short story from Anthony de Mello, a Jesuit priest born in Mumbai, India. These words have a deep message that I would like to leave you for reflection. It goes like this. On the street, I saw a naked child, hungry and shivering in the cold. I became angry and said to God, "Why do you allow this? Why don't you do something?" For a while, God said nothing. That night, he replied, quite suddenly, "I certainly did something. I made you." This is the reason why we are here today and the reason why we study. Our mission of finding the solutions and making the world a better place is just beginning. Here we are, ready with our education to find solution. This is only the beginning. Thank you very much, and congratulations, class of 2013.